good afternoon, and welcome one and all to another fantastic afternoon out in the wilderness with Wild Earth TV. Phenomenal scenes from the Pridelands Game Reserve, Eco Training's property, just outside the South African town of Hoedspruit. My name is Liam Burrow. I'm the very fortunate naturalist here in the driver's seat. The talented man behind the lens is the legendary BK Uhuru. Yeah, we are very, very proud to be out here today, checking out some elephants absolutely living it up at Ndlovu Dam. We got here a little bit early, probably 10 or 15 minutes before the show started, and had these guys chasing Egyptian geese, splashing around, full of antics. Things seem to have calmed down for the moment, but there's lots of splashing and elephant happiness going on. Right now in this heat, I think BK and I are about 3 degrees from joining them. That mud definitely looks lovely. Check this big guy out. Trying to get every nook and cranny. Oh, spectacular. That's about a 5-ton elephant bull. Acting like a calf again.
So look what we found over here in the middle of the mountain. Look at that. So these elephants have walked up the slope. It's not really a mountain, it's quite a very tall hill, but they've walked up the slope of the hill. They're almost at the top, but it seems like they're resting and feeding over there. The little babies are in there as well. I would imagine those babies are a little bit tired at the moment because they've been climbing mountains this morning. And this is not often seen. So I'm really happy with these elephants that they've timed it so well that during the kids' drive, we get to show this to you. Unbelievable. Wow, I can feel quite a strong wind from behind here. Seems like we are in for a bit of a windy afternoon, but that's fine as long as we are warm and the animals are warm, all is good. And they do look like they're very inactive. Some of them are, flapping their ears because they're a little bit hot at the moment on that slope. But there's very little shade there. It's mainly, the small little bushes, as you can see, that are much smaller than the elephants. So the shade is very limited there. They're getting a little bit hot sitting in the sun. So flapping their ears, this is how they're going to cool down nicely. And some of them, I believe, are taking a rest.
We are back at the den, as you can see. Just feeling very alert in this block, and so was June earlier. But now she seems to have relaxed quite nicely, bottom down in the den. Hi Mia, you'd like to know if as the cubs age, if June will add more entrances to the den? No. So the excavation of the den site is actually... Sorry, I just need to move my cap for a moment. So these are already existing burrows, usually by aardvarks or warthogs, something like that. They will occasionally excavate their own burrows, but here they don't really do that. They use existing ones. And all the adult will do is widen the opening. Everything else, all the tunneling inside, other openings that come out, those are done by the cubs. They don't have to, but they end up doing it because they're playing in there, they're moving around, they end up digging and scratching. So she won't adjust the entrances of this den at all. Unless, say, there's a cub stuck somewhere, then she might try to scratch at the ground. But all the tunneling inside the den, tunneling to come out to the other side or anything like that, that's usually done by the cubs. I just stopped to have a look at some tracks. They look like pretty old leopard tracks, heading in the opposite direction of where where we're driving. And then we came across this snake. It is very small. Tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. I have no idea what it could be. It's kind of reddy brown. Thought maybe a brown house snake. But it's got quite a defining kind of horseshoe on the head. So I don't know what it is. It looks very, very young. I think I unfortunately disrupt an interaction between it and a tiny frog when I stopped for tracks. But it is so small and so skinny. Hi Vivian, you'd like to know if all snakes have teeth? Yes, they do. And all snakes have venom glands as well. It's just that not all snakes have not all snakes have fangs that inject venom. So though there are snakes that are constrictors like python and like boas, they still have teeth and they still have venom glands. And it's likely that they even are able to deliver venom, but not in the same way as other snakes do, and probably not very much of it. But the gland will still exist. In fact, not all these snakes, but I think almost all lizards as well also have venom glands, but they just don't do very much. We have 1 minute left. We came this way so that we could attempt to find a last minute leopard on this, the first day of Leopard Fest. How ceremonious if we do find a leopard. But instead, I see some impala to grace us with their presence for the last few seconds of our time together. Perhaps we won't even see it. They are there. Just a little bit dark. Anyway, it was lovely to spend this time with all of you. Thank you for your questions and your comments. I know that we didn't end up with a last minute leopard, but tomorrow morning we shall find more. Good night, everyone. Bye for now.